It's October 1994. Torrents of rain have deluged the small town of Asheville, North Carolina for over a week. The normally peaceful Shenandoah River runs through Asheville. Now it's turned into a raging rapid, spilling over its riverbanks and drowning everything in its path. When the rain lets up 8 days later, townspeople head outside to assess the damage to their homes and property. Eager to get out of the house, 81-year-old Catherine Ballard decides to go out for lunch. She's on Biltmore Road, approaching the rain-swollen Shenandoah River, when, without warning, Catherine's car suddenly plunges into the water. She's unable to escape as her car rapidly floods. Catherine's chances for survival lessen with each passing second. A witness calls the Asheville Fire Department. Firefighters Steve Friedel and Joe Meadows are immediately dispatched to the scene. Firefighter Meadows is aware of the river's unpredictable currents and that he and his partner better get there fast.
The river was really raging, so we knew if we did get something, it was going to be significant.
District Fire Chief Chris Morgan rushes to the site as soon as he gets the call.
Communication 7104 en route to the river rescue, Shenandoah River Road.
When I pulled up and arrived on the scene, I saw the car being submerged with the water. The water was flowing over the windshield.
All of the Asheville team is there, but there's a problem. None of them have ever attempted a rescue of this kind. Firefighter Friedel recognizes the severity of the situation.
I was very pessimistic about her chances. I did not think we could get to her in time. We needed a rescue boat.
The Asheville team calls for a boat from the Skyville Fire Department. In minutes, the boat arrives. Rescuers and spectators help carry it to the river. Luckily, Chief Morgan knows how to operate the boat and instructs firefighters Friedel and Meadows to assist. The car has now been in the water for half an hour, and firefighters don't know if Catherine is still alive.
I just thought there's no way in the world anybody can be alive in that car. It was going to be a body recovery.
Chief Morgan races the boat's engine against the raging current to get to Catherine. Firefighters Friedel and Meadows pull the door handle with all their might. The current is fighting against them, and the door doesn't budge. The attempt to save Catherine may be hopeless. They can't see her and don't know if she's dead or alive. Then Fire Chief Chris Morgan comes up with a plan.
I was able to place the boat in a position which took a lot of the current off of the door and made it easier for the firefighters to open the door.
I was still in the boat, so I grabbed the handle also, and between the both of us, we opened up the door and reached the current. Something I'll never forget the rest of my life is the eye contact that me and Catherine Ballard made. She was terrified.
I reached around and grabbed her around the waist under the arms and pulled her out of the car.
But the strong current is making it difficult. Both firefighters pull her up and then must flip her into the boat. In shock but alive, Catherine is brought to shore and placed on a stretcher. Paramedics try to talk to Catherine, but she is hard of hearing. They then bring her to the hospital, where she is treated and amazingly released with no injuries.
I was thinking I was going to drown, and I was ever glad to see those beautiful young men.
Catherine Ballard was incredibly lucky to survive. Now the firefighters must piece together how she got into such a perilous predicament. After being trapped inside her submerged car for 30 frightening minutes, 81-year-old Catherine Ballard is rescued by Asheville, North Carolina firefighters. Now they need to determine how this potentially fatal accident could have happened. They know that torrents of rain pounded the Asheville area for days, flooding homes, streets, and the nearby Shenandoah River. A barricade was placed in the road to alert motorists of the dangers ahead, but the barricade was moved, and Catherine didn't realize she was headed straight for the river until it was too late.
She said that she saw some people waving for her to stop, but she thought that meant it's okay, go ahead, go around them.
There was an open lane there, and so, you know, we went on through. It's a great mistake, and I did some mighty hard praying.
The water rushed in, and Catherine couldn't escape. When the car finally stopped flooding, Catherine was left with a mere 4 inches of airspace to breathe.
Water got up to here.
4 inches more, and the 81-year-old woman would have drowned. But there are actions anyone can take to save themselves, according to the National Academy of Police Divers President Mike Gast.
The very worst thing that you can do in an accident involving water, or really any accident, is lose your head and start panicking.
Here in Miami, Gast is also an officer in the Metro-Dade Underwater Unit. He has set up a simulated scenario to show how to survive if your car goes into the water. Volunteering to demonstrate is Mike's 62-year-old mother, Pat. Although she's never been in an underwater accident, she knows exactly what to do if it ever happens. As the car hits for the water, watch how Pat prepares for the impact.
You need to prepare it by holding the steering wheel, having your seatbelt on. And once all that happens, you're going to be able to move around the car pretty freely.
Gast says the next step is to quickly undo your seatbelt.
If you have mechanical windows, the windows that roll down, best thing to do is once you come to a floating stop, roll your window down and climb out. Get away from the car and swim to safety.
Gast says you should have ample time to do this once the car hits the water. He says it takes at least 40 seconds for the entire car to sink, and in some cases, as long as 4 to 5 minutes. But what happens if you have electrical windows, like Catherine had? According to Gast, electric windows change the situation dramatically. You could end up trapped as the car sinks and starts to flood.
Almost all cars on the road today have electric windows. And the electric window is connected to the battery, and since the front of the car goes under first, the battery may short out. But if the battery shorts out, your windows are not going to work.
Gast says you'll need a mechanism called an automatic centering punch to break the window.
There's a spring-loaded device here, so that when you push this against the window, it pushes so far and then it clicks, injecting into the window, causing the window to shatter.
Taking the center punch in hand, pick a corner of any side window. The windshield will not break easily because it's lined with a safety layer of plastic.
Find the corner of the window, push it up, and just start applying pressure until it clicks. Once it clicks, the window's going to shatter. You've got to push the window up.
Gast says if you don't have a center punch, a tire iron or hammer is the next best thing. And if a child is in the car, break their window first. Once the window is broken, swim away from the car and up to the surface. Since Catherine Ballard's rescue, the Asheville Fire Department has initiated some major changes in their rescue efforts.
As a result of this water rescue incident, the Asheville Fire Department implemented a water rescue team. This was a good learning experience. It helped us bring our rescue services more up to par with where we need to be in the 21st century.
Officers say the experience of Catherine Ballard can be a lesson to us all. Don't panic and be prepared with a plan and a center punch. It could be the difference between life and death.